Okay, guys, welcome back. In this class, we will proceed with modeling the robots. And it is pretty easy. It's made with simple geometries. The handle here is just a cylinder. This is a cylinder as well. This is also a cylinder. The head is a cube that was beveled, and here it is a circle. We also have a cube here, a couple of circles and cylinders. The shoes were made from a cube, okay? And then we have cylinders here as well, so it's pretty easy. Let's get right into it. All right, okay, so I'll start a new collection for this new model. So let's put the cursor at the center of the origin by pressing Shift-C, so the cursor snaps to the center. Okay, now let's add a cube. Shift-A, Mesh, Cube. All right, so let's move this cube up above the bottom line. Okay, so now it is sitting on top of the grid. Now let's scale the size of the cube so it is more rectangular, as you can see in this image. So scale on the x-axis, something like this. So it's about 4 grid divisions. Okay, let's see how this works. So let's go back to solid view so we can see more clearly. I believe I've also enabled cavity, so you might want to enable that as well. I will turn off the shadow for now. Okay, it is turned off. So from this point, let's move this up some more because this will be the head. Okay, G, then Z. So somewhere around here, and then the neck would come out somewhere around here. We'll still reposition it at some point. So for now, let's proceed with the modeling. Okay, since we scaled this in object mode, the transforms and the scales are now messed up. We want everything to be 1, so press Ctrl-A to apply rotation and scale. So now we have all of them being 1 on the X, Y, and Z axes. Okay, so from this point forward, we want to bevel the edges. So select the edges of the cube. All right, then press Ctrl-B, and then move your mouse to something close to the reference. And then increase your mouse wheel. Scroll up until you get something that feels right. You don't need to be precise about this. Like I always say, 3D is art, so you want to have your own unique touch. All right, so this looks about right. Let's see from the front view. Okay, it looks about right. Not too much and not too small. So we also need some kind of beveling around this corner. But for this, we're going to make use of the Bevel modifier. So go to your modifier stack and add a Bevel modifier. Okay, so let's increase the segments to around 4. Yeah, this should work. Okay, let's also increase the amount. Let's see, 0.15. This is a bit too much. Let's see, 0.12 looks fine. Let's add in, oh, I might need to. Okay, so this looks fine. Let's set shade smooth and see. Okay, this looks fine. So I'll remove auto smooth because I won't be using the bevel. So let's apply the beveling. Ctrl-A to apply. Now we have this, all right. So let's select this face from the front view, press I to inset. This level should be fine. So press Shift-D to duplicate, okay. Then P to separate by selection. So now we have this face, then we have this cube. All right, so select the other face and disable. So select this face, E to extrude just a little bit, and then E to extrude one more time, then X to delete faces. Okay, so yeah, let's enable the other plane. We're gonna also extrude this inward, so I press / to go to the local view, E to extrude one more time, and then X to delete face. Okay, so we have this. Now let's select the front face, I to inset one more time, and then I again. All right, so this should be fine. Press / to go out of the local view. So now we're getting somewhere. So let's add the division line, because if you zoom in close, you can see the edge is split into 2 separate parts. So we need a division line at the center of this mesh. So Ctrl-R to add an edge loop. And then let's go to the side view, Ctrl-B to bevel. Increase your beveling by moving up and down with your scroll wheel. So let's just leave 1 bevel at the center. I mean 1 edge loop at the center. All right, something like this. You want it to be really close, okay? Really close. Okay, so let's select this edge, and then bevel again one more time. This time, we just need 2 edge loops. Okay, so now altogether, we have 5 lines here. So select this line, X, and delete the edge, edge. Okay, so this is what we have. Okay, you know what? Let's delete vertices, okay? Yeah, let's delete vertices. So now we have 2 separate faces. Let's select this, select any of the vertices here. Press L, or you just put your cursor over the back side of the head and then press L to select this part of it. Then press P to separate by selection. So now we have 2 separate parts, okay? I mean, of course, besides the face. Okay, so let's go in, press / to go into the local view, and then select the entire edge loop by pressing Alt, press F to fill it up with a face. We'll do the same for the other side lash. Select the entire edge loop and then F to fill it up with a face. Okay, so now what we have is, so I would also like to add a subdivision surface to this. But if I do that now, given how this back view is, we would have problems. Okay, you can see we'd have problems. So before I add the edge loop, let's inset the faces. All right, so I'll do that for both meshes, this and the other mesh. So let's select the face here and then select both objects. All right, go to Edit Mode, Shift Z, then select both faces. All right, so we can do that easily by going to the side view, then selecting like so. All right, I think we are also selecting the edges, which we do not want. All right, this is not the best way to select, I believe. Let's do it from the front view. Let's do it from the front view. So select like so, and then deselect the back view. All right, so this is a lot better. All right, so now we have the front face at the center selected. All right, so press I to inset, and then press I to inset one more time, and then I again one more time. All right, so now we can delete the face at the center. Okay, I hope this is not confusing for you. All right, so let's go to the local view. You can see what we have now. This is what we have, inset, then we deleted the face at the center. We did the same for this as well, inset and deleted the face at the center. So now if we enable subdivision surface, you see we have no problem with the mesh. That's because we have these edge loops going around the edges, holding the cube. Okay, so we should do the same for this as well. Let's turn this off for now. Control R to add an edge loop to this part. Okay, so it gives us that firmness around the edge. All right, so let's go out of the local view. And then now we have this, and it's looking good. Let's see from the edge, it appears there's a bit of a gap on the edge. Okay, there's no modifier on this. There's a modifier on this. So we need to add a modifier to this. Subdivision surface modifier. So now they are equal, right? So let's select both. Let's select the back side and then move it on the y-axis so it kind of touches the front part, okay? So we have no space between the edge. All right, so yeah, this is good for now. So let's go to the front view, and then now we can focus on the eyes. All right, so select this object. The origin is at the center. The 3D cursor is down below. So let's put the 3D cursor on the surface of this selected object. Go to Edit Mode. I already have my face selected. If you don't, go to this selection mode and pick Face. Then you can select the face like so. Shift S cursor to selected, and then Shift A to add a circle, R, X, 90. Scale. Just scale the circle down to about the right size, and then go to your Edit Mode. I would like to switch to Vertex Selection, and I'm doing this so I can move these objects without moving the origin point. Okay, so scale this. I think this size should be fine. What I'm just looking at is the spacing between the Z-axis and the X-axis. Okay, I'm trying to eyeball them so they look equal. All right, so let's add a mirror modifier so we can kind of have a good idea if this looks right. Okay, this looks about all right. So what you want to do next is add the detail. Okay, right now we just have an empty circle or a hollow circle. All right, so E to extrude, S to scale to somewhere around here. It looks thick enough for this boundary, maybe even too much. So let's extrude one more time for this part. E to extrude, S to scale, something like this. All right, and then F to fill with a face. Okay, so press Control and the plus button to increase your selection, and then press P to separate by selection. Let's hide this face so it is easy for us to work with. So select this face, and then Control R to add an edge loop. You know what, let's extrude the object first. Okay, so select both objects. Let's enable the face. Let's do this from the front view. E to extrude. Okay, now let's add a subdivision surface modifier to this. So we have this. And now what you want to do is add in edge loops to hold the surface. So add in another edge loop below. Yeah, I don't want them too tight. I just still want that round edge. That's it. Shade smooth so we'll have a better view of what we're working on. All right, so delete the face behind. Hold down Alt, and then click on any of the edges so that it selects the entire edge loop, X, and then delete faces. Okay, so now we have this. So let's go back to perspective view so you can see what we have. Then for this internal object, we want to move this face in. So go to your face select mode. Select this, then G and Y to move it in. Just be careful not to go all the way in. All right, so somewhere around here should be fine. On second thought, you can probably go in because we'll create a different object for this. All right, so after going back inside the mesh, you can delete this face. So let's add an edge loop around here. Let's select this entire edge loop. Let's go to Vertex Select. All right, so it selects this entire face. We want to make it flat like this. Scale on the Y is 0. Okay, so now you can see it is flat, right? Then we need to add in edge loops to hold the object. Before we do that, we can delete the face behind. Control plus to add to selection, X, and then delete faces. Okay, so this is what we have. So what you want to do now is add an edge loop to support the corners. Or better still, you can go to your edge select mode, select both edges, and then convert to bevel, and then just make the beveling tight like this. All right, so shade smooth, and then add subdivision surface modifier. All right, so now we have this. Let's add an edge ring for this part so that it is also close to supporting the edge around here. So it is not showing that gap like we had before. Okay, so you see what we have now. I feel like we should also do the same for this. Something like this feels more okay. So yeah, what you want to do next is this bulge in the eyes. So we can do that by selecting this object, go to edit mode, select the entire edge loop, Shift S cursor to selected, Shift A, add a UV sphere, and let's see what we have. Okay, from the side view, we can rotate this on the X-axis by 90 degrees by pressing R, then 90, and then Enter. All right, so going to the local view, we can delete half of the mesh. Okay, now we can scale this on the Y-axis. Let's go back to perspective view, front view, S to scale, then just scale it into place, something like this. You can shade smooth. Okay, this looks like what we want. Just move it back a little bit so it doesn't at any point go through the mesh. All right, so now we need to make a mirror of this so that it duplicates to the left side. So select this object. We can do this in different ways, but the easiest way would be to just press Q to go to your quick favorites if you have your mirror in your quick favorites. Okay, or you just go to your Add Modifier stack and then go to Generate Mirror. Okay, so in the Mirror Object section, select the eyedropper tool and pick the head of your mesh. Okay, this is assuming your head object has its origin at the center point. All right, if the object origin is not at the center point, the mirroring will not work correctly. Okay, so this is one way to go about it. As we proceed, you'll see other ways to go about making mirrors of your objects. Okay, so we can proceed with the mouth now, I believe. Does it look a bit too small? I think it does. The eyes. So let's scale it up. All right, so select these three objects, go to edit mode, select the entire piece, S to scale, and then Shift Y so it doesn't scale on the Y, but scales on both the Z and X axes. Okay, so I think something like this is fine, right? Yeah, it looks like it's in the right place now. Okay, so for the mouth, we can select this face and then Shift S cursor to, let's select this front face, Shift S cursor to selected, and then Shift A, add a plane, RX90. Let's scale it down. Scale on the Z axis. So like I said, you want to just keep eyeballing things. There's no precise measurement for what I'm doing right now. It's just art. So we want 3 lines at the middle of the object. So Control A to apply the rotation and scale. Go to edit mode by pressing Tab, then Control R. Let's add 3 edge loops. All right, and since we're in edge select mode, I don't need to do anything else. Just press Control B to bevel. Then we just want something like this, 3 edge loops on all 3 lines. All right, so select the entire mesh, press E to extrude forward, something like this. Let's delete the back face. Go to the side view, select edge select mode, select the entire back edges, Shift ZX, and then delete faces. Okay, so just want this. Now select the edges from the front, the 3 center edges, go to the top view, and then G and Y to move them back like this. We just want to create that indentation for it to appear like there are 4 separate buttons, okay? So Control A to apply rotation and scale. So now you can see what we have. So now we need some kind of defined edges. So what we want to do is select this object and then add a bevel. So in our bevel settings, increase the segments to 4, the amount to, let's try 0.03 and 0.007. Okay, this should work. Okay, I think this is it. Okay, so go to Shading, Add Normals, Shade Auto Smooth. I think Auto Smooth is giving us a bit of a shading problem. Let's see what will happen if we change this miter to arc. No, it doesn't appear to be working fine. Let's disable Auto Smooth for a minute. Okay, yeah, I think that fixed the problem. Yeah, so we can delete Auto Smooth and then just leave our settings at 4 segments, 0.047, and then arc for the miter outer. Then shading should be set to add normals. Right, so we should also add a subdivision surface for this subdivision surface, so we have a much smoother corner. I believe we have subdivision for all of this already. Yep,